Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all good? Alright, look. So I'm not coming up here to give y'all no rah-rah speech. I'm not coming up here to try to make y'all feel good or put a battery in your back and make you feel good about yourself. But not bad about yourself either. It's just the whole point of I got to get this across to you to understand the position that you are in today and how you can't take it for granted. So look, for me, I was a student athlete, and there was a lot of things I did right, and there were some things that I did wrong. But one thing that I understood is to whom much is given, much is required. Anybody know what I mean by that? Show hands. To whom much is given, much is required. Look, basically I'm saying you're not going to be able to carry the load on your back and do everything you want and get away with the underlying things. Ain't nobody in here Michael Phelps. Y'all know what I mean? So I cut out. But look, okay, so in order for us to get to where we want to get to, and I'm not going to be long, I got to paint the picture. So with that being said, we need to visualize. So I want everybody to close their eyes, and I'm going to talk to you, and I need you to see your future ahead of time. So look, imagine this. The point A where you at right now in your life. You are a student athlete at Richland College. You have a scholarship. You've been given everything you wanted. Point A. And then we go into point C. Now, I don't know what point C might be. It might be playing at the Division I level after you graduate here in 2 years or one more year. It might be you opening up a business for yourself, being an entrepreneur like I'm trying to do. It might even be you taking first team all district in a conference and going to the next level. You can open your eyes now. So the dream is over. I need y'all to understand this. From point A to point C, you've seen all those different things you wanted. You want to win the national championship here. You want to make some money for your parents and be able to get them out of their current situation. You wanted all these different things for your family to get what y'all want. Whatever your family represented, whatever you doing, you want them to obtain something. And that's a good thing. But what I didn't mention to A to C is plan B. And in B is your distractions. There's a lot of distractions that come on in this game that's going to try to deter you from where you're supposed to be. Whether that's what I'm here for, alcohol and drug awareness. For me, I had a run-in with all kind of alcohol and drug awareness. I found myself behind bars even doing the wrong things. And so I want y'all to understand that every part of the game matters. It's not just what you do in between the lines on the baseball field or in the basketball field or on the court. Again, y'all take our court for no reason. Y'all need to have y'all own court, not take a basketball court. I'm joking. But I say that, that's needless to say. I say that to joke with you, but to understand that you have a responsibility. In this game of basketball or volleyball or soccer or baseball, it is a job. It's a business. Y'all felt the pressure a little bit when you was at your junior year in high school. When you was like, dang, I can't mess up no more. Like it's really, like sports is a business. We all talk about politics within the game. But it's more than that. You can't give people a reason to doubt you. A lot of y'all need to stop becoming liabilities and become an asset to your business. Right here. Right now. Freshmen, incoming freshmen, sophomores, whatever the case may be. It's time to handle up and be professional. So this is what it looked like for me. I signed coming out of high school. I signed to Western Texas Junior College. That's a D1 JUCO in the middle of nowhere in Texas. You know how you driving and your phone lose signal and you in the middle of nowhere? That's what it was like where I was at. And then it picked back up probably 2 exits later on after you passed the place already. So I went there, and my year went by really fast, y'all. Like, my freshman year went by real fast. And it was one of those things where I didn't have it all together. Like, some of the habits that I had as a high school senior, they carried over to me being in college. And it's crazy because I thought, oh, I'm 6'7" in the post. And I got a couple moves, and I'm good at scoring the ball, or I can lock you up on defense or get rebounds. Like I add to the game, and so I'm thinking I'm sweet. And I went to play D1, and I was trying to post up players, and they was blocking my stuff because I was undersized and in the post playing versus cats who was like D1 and all that. And so I had trouble on the court, and coach was like, this is where it got serious, so pay attention. Coach said, it's evaluation day. The year came to an end, and we had evaluation day. And he said he's going to call everybody into the office. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I knew within myself, I had to keep it real with myself. And I said, I hadn't been the person that I was supposed to be within the school year. And he said, okay, Mr. Kennedy, come in and have a seat. And I could feel the room like real cold and everybody being tense, the assistant coaches. And they said, Mr. Kennedy, have a seat. And I'm like, what's up, coach? He said, well, it's evaluation day. And then he was like, we're going to look at your performance on the court and we're going to look at your performance off the court. And I said, all right. He said, well, let's be honest. You weren't the best student. You didn't have all of your grades in order and stuff like that. He said, and then also you wasn't the type player you wasn't off the court. You weren't the player you're supposed to be because you had fights. You had fights in the classroom. He said, and on top of that, there was activity going on within the school year that we can't say you was doing, but let's say you was in the mix. He said, but I'm not concerned about that because we brought you in here for basketball. And he said, you didn't perform on the court like you were supposed to. I said, yeah, you're right. He said, so with that being said, we're going to have to let you go. And I was like, all right, that's understandable. And I got home because right when coach was talking to me, I had a flashback, and I remember everything from high school up to the point where I was at my freshman year of college. And I said, wow, like everything I did played dividends within my lead up to this point. I said, and so smoking in the dorms, y'all ain't got to worry about that. But you're off the court stuff, you're off the field stuff, and then drinking, having long nights drinking and stuff that caught up to me, hanging out with the rodeo team. And I was like, really? Like I looked back and I said, I was wasting my time. Like I did everything leading up to that point thinking I was sweet, and I wasn't because it caught up to me. And so I got sent home. And what did I do when I got home? I was mad at myself. I was angry. I began to start getting with the homies, and they was like, hey, what's up? My nickname was Crazy B back then. Don't ask no questions. But they was like, Crazy B, like, we glad you home, bro, but we was looking at you and, watching the games online and stuff like that, and we didn't see you play that much. You had a good debuting, but you fell off. And I'm like, y'all know me, I wanted to give the excuse. Oh, coaches, man, they pulling some moves on me, like they showing favorites. And then I had to but they didn't want to hear that. So I was just like, you know what? It's my fault, bro. I didn't show up. I didn't represent. And I didn't know that y'all cared so much. I didn't know that y'all was represented. Like, y'all, yeah, man, we really your boys. Like, we want you to perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted me to represent. It's not only your families that's counting on y'all. It's your partners. It's your grannies, your aunties. Everybody is riding on that. Everybody is hoping that you show up and show out the way you're supposed to. People expecting something from you. So I came home and I began to start drinking, right? And and it was really bad on me. And so what happened was I came home and I was drinking alcohol and it was real bad on me. And I was already sad. Like I was already in a bad place of mind because I was depressed. And so I had alcohol and then I was already depressed. And you mix alcohol, which is already a depressant, downer, and you mix that with trying to do everything else you're trying to do, I stumbled and I fell, and I became having a disorder, a psychological disorder, because I had really just had enough of everything that was in my life. I didn't play ball no more. Basketball was taken away because I didn't step up. So it was all good. I had 1 year without playing ball, and I was just getting in trouble with the law. I started fighting in the city, like here, getting locked up, going to the mall, picking fights, found myself behind bars. And my homeboys like, what you doing with your life? Come up to Richland and come play ball. Come up to Eastfield, come play ball. And so I started beginning to play ball in the summer. And then one of the coaches at Eastfield picked me up. Long story short, he picked me up, I played, and I wasn't ready. Some of the same habits that I was doing from high school, thinking I was sweet and a good enough player to be Michael Phelps. The only reason I use Michael Phelps is because he smokes marijuana and he says he is still a top athlete. Everybody can't be Michael Phelps though. So I thought I was sweet and I kept going. And then Eastfield didn't work out because they was like, your mental state's still not in order. Like, you're not in tip-top shape to perform. I'm like, I understand. So he said, we're going to give you a medical leave of absence, and we're going to call this a white shirt. And I had to get it together. So with that being said, I went home, and I didn't play for Eastfield. And so we even got there, and I got my life together and started getting accountability around me and having the right friends and stuff like that. And it started working out in my favor. I came here to Richland in the summertime once more, trying out for another team, and Richland signed me. And back in that was like in 08, 09 season. He signed me. I got here. Long story short, y'all see the banner right there. But I'm not saying that to make it seem like I was just the number one player and I killed the game. I'm just letting you know, like, it was a real thing for me. And so I want you to understand, like, in the sport that you play, you got to read the fine print. And what I mean by the fine print is the game that you play, it comes with a set of responsibilities and qualifications. You can't just play a sport and expect just to do whatever you want and then get away with the stuff on the other end. You got to see it. You got to see it for yourself and be like, you know what? What things can I do when I come into my sport and play and change the dynamics of the game? Like, how can I be the ideal student for my school? How can I be a representation of everything I've worked for? You know what I'm saying? Like, up until this point, I'm not willing to sacrifice it. I'm not willing to jeopardize my future. You can't take this game for granted. Your sport, you can't take it for granted. It has been, and it will be played after you. How will you be remembered? I know dudes who done hit 3 bombs in the game, and then it's just like now they didn't want to be professional because there's so many levels you got to work your way up to. Because right now you at Division 3, then you got to go D1, then you got to go pro, and there's so many development league. You got to go in the development league, then you got to go up into another league, a summer league. You got to work your way up. Volleyball, I don't know how much you got to do, but I know y'all probably want to play on the USA team and compete in the Olympics. That could be a dream. But you got to lay the groundwork you got to lay the groundwork right now. And if you don't lay the groundwork, you're going to hurt yourself, and it's not going to be easy to recover. Like, the older you get, the less accountability comes. Show of hands of how many of you aren't from Dallas, so you're not from this area. Show of hands. Oh, we got a lot of hands, boy. That's crazy. All right, look, check this out. Check this out. You are here where you at, and everybody is not going to support you. It gets slimmer and slimmer as you get older. So the support leaves. It's not just going to be the same thing it was when you first walked in. Like, when you played high school, everybody in high school, they adored y'all. They thought y'all was everything. Like, oh, man, he the man on campus. But the older you get and the more levels you get to within the game, slowly and surely people going to be like, I ain't supporting that, or I'm not going to be around. Like, I don't decide to hang out with him just because he an athlete or just because she an athlete. Like, and people going to be like, look, I'm not going to ride they jock. Like, I'm not going to let them do my homework for me. I'm not going to let them do their homework. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not going to be able to just roll out the red carpet for you just because you're good at a sport. Like, you got to learn how to grow up and be a man or a woman right now before it's too late. Like, I'm giving you the blueprint right now. And a lot of y'all looking at me like, he don't know what he's talking about, or I don't like the way he got that purple tie on. It looks bogus. It's a clip-on, bro. It's a clip-on. But look, I'm giving you some fossil facts. Like, I'm not the only one. Like, it's like dinosaur age facts that when you play this game, there's certain things that you can do and you can't do. And whether you like me or not, it's still gonna stand. Because if you don't put one of these up or you don't give it your all, you're gonna be like, when you look back at me, you're gonna be like me. I remember the last jump shot I took within playing the game of basketball. It was a 15-foot jump shot right there where the free throw line was at. and I missed it. Now I look back on the game and I say, man, I wish I would have trained more. I wish instead of trying to handle the ball and cross over, I wish I would have hit the books harder. One thing I can say I did right is I got a degree. And that was the piece that made everything complete. I got it right before it was too late. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see exactly where y'all gonna go from here. Like, this is not my first time being here. I look forward to seeing what you do with your life and not being distracted from everything that comes with the game. Whether that's being tired and taking pain pills because you injured and your Achilles is hurting, or your arms and your elbows are hurting, and you throwing the ball and you putting it all out there for your team, and then you're not getting wins. Like, how are you going to respond to the game? How are you going to respond as an athlete? Are you going to sit here and complain or make excuses? Are you going to take pain pills until you can't take, until you become addicted to it? Are you going to drink alcohol, and if your coach don't play you at the end of the game, are you going to go party after a loss? After you lose the game, are you going to go pull up because you didn't get in much? Like, how are you going to respond as a basketball player, as a volleyball player, as golf, as tennis, whatever the case may be? Like, how will you respond when adversity comes? Because I know when I got locked up and I was here in Dallas in the jail cell, all I could think of is, man, I wish I would have made a better decision. OG, kind of a thug, came up to me and he said, hey, youngster, I see you looking at that TV awful hard. I said, yeah, man, it was the NCAA tournament. He was like, yeah. He was like, I see you looking at that TV awful hard. Like, I see you talk. He said, you tall. You played ball? I said, yeah, I did. But I got in trouble with the law, and now I'm here. And he was like, what you mean you used to play? He said, well, as long as you didn't get a felony, you got an opportunity. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, I'm giving you the golden ticket right now. Like, I'm giving you a meal ticket out of your situation. Listen to me. And I said, all right. I said, if I get another chance, I'm going to do things the right way. I said, I'm going to adopt the craft, and I'm going to respond the correct way. Like, and so that's what you have to do for yourself. You got to be one with what you do. You got to be one with being a baseball player. You got to put up some extra reps and some extra shots. You got to sit here, and if you're a track runner, you got to make sure you're coming out the gate strong. And that's practice. That's the things. It's the discipline in the game. That's what made us a national championship team. It wasn't because we was just the best players in the state or in the country to go on and take it all. It was just because we was disciplined. And it was not our desire that determined our destination. It was our simple of us stepping up and saying, you know what? Everything we got towards this game, we're going to give it our all. And we're not going to do what everybody else do. They made us wake up for 6 o'clock morning, 5 o'clock morning, weightlifting in the downstairs, right down here. Not this gym. We didn't work out right here. We worked out down here. 4 or 5 in the morning, we got to wake up and roll up out of the bed right here in these apartments off to the side. We woke up, and everybody was like, man, I don't feel like waking up, dog. We just went out last night. And we like, man, you better get your butt up. We got to practice. And that's what it was like. You got to keep yourself accountable. Not only you, because you ain't from here. And ain't nobody going to look after you here. And I'm coming to a close because I'm tired of talking about it. I just want you to understand, I come in love when I say this because I'm a Thunder Duck, and I want to see each one of y'all be successful. I want to see each one of you have and obtain that thing in the back of your mind that you closed your mind and said you wanted to have. That thing you said you wanted to have, I want you to have that for yourself. Your family wants you to have that. Your friends want to have it so you can pass it on and break bread with everybody else. So, understand. Alcohol and drug and awareness, it's just the addictions, the things that you don't need in your life as a distraction. If your homeboy not doing right, leave him alone. If your homegirl not doing right, leave her alone. That's what I'm saying. And it's not because you're better than them. It's because you have a destination you have to get to. These friendships that y'all have and y'all developing within this first couple of days of school, it's cute, it's nice, but they don't last forever. There's two people that I still talk to from my national championship team. Tony Bishop, 2009, the one you'll see his frame out there because we from the same neighborhood. And Jonathan Jones up there, my camera guy, because he's an entrepreneur and he's a motivational speaker and he is on his grind. And we about the same things. We about the same business. When you about the same business, that's who you need to rock with. Like, don't rock with nobody who don't got the same morals and the same character as you. Like, don't do it. So with that being said, I hope these Thunder Ducks had a good time listening to me talk, and thank you for your time. My name is Coach Bruce Kennedy.